Hello, friends, and welcome back. I know I've been gone for a little bit, and I do apologize. Just life kind of happens like that sometimes. But anyway, I am back, and I thought I would do an interesting little video on different income taxes from different places. And I have a friend from Sweden that decided to help me out with this and create a little presentation of her own. So I will let her take it away. My friend, the lady from Sweden, please show her some love. And I really hope you enjoy it. Spent a little bit of time working on this. So here you go.
Hello, I'm the lady, and I've been asked to give you a short and hopefully comprehensive introduction to taxes in Sweden. So let's begin with income tax. So on average, we pay about 32% in taxes. This depends on where you live, in what municipality you live in. It can be anything between 29 and 35%, but on average it's 32. And that is for the money that you make up to $4,700 a month. So if you make more money than that, the money exceeding 4,700, you pay an additional 20%. So in total, you pay 52% on whatever you make that exceeds $4,700 a month. Now, there is an additional fee that you as an employee don't really see or pay attention to, and that's the employer's fee or tax. And that is for every employee that they have to pay 31% of their total wages or salary. And that money goes to the common good. So it doesn't go to the individual employee, it goes to the government, and it's to cover medical, parental leave, pensions, and so on. And then we have sales tax. Now, sales tax in Sweden is national, first of all, and it's already included in the price that you see on the shelf. So you don't have to think of it as an additional cost. It's always there. And for most things, we pay 25% in sales tax. And then there are some exceptions, which is like food and restaurant visits and stuff like that. It's 12%. And then we have books and entrance fees to museums and so on, which is 6%. Now, about doing our taxes, I think they've made it very easy for us. So early in the year, we get papers telling us how much taxes we have paid over the year, because our employer has already deducted the taxes from our wages or salary. So, and then if you have loans, there is a deduction on your taxes because of that, and that is usually what you get in return. So the tax agency has already done the math for you. They will just tell you, this is how much you made over the year, this is how much you owe the bank, and this is what you will be deducting, and this is how much you get back. Now, in some cases, of course, if you, for instance, have sold stock or you've sold property, then you have to pay additional tax, and that won't be included. So you will have to add that yourself. Same thing if you have an additional income or a small company, that might also need to be added in afterwards. But for most people, it will all be already calculated. You just look it over and say, yes, this checks out, and you log in on the website or the app, and you just approve it. and then your money will be transferred to you a couple of months later. So, for all the taxes that we pay, what do we get? Well, we get free healthcare, for one, which is awesome. You do have to pay a admittance fee, I guess you would call it, like when you see a doctor, and it's about $30. But if you have many doctor's appointments or you have many visits to the hospital, within a 12-month period, there's a cap. So you don't have to pay more than, I think it's like $100. Once your visits start to exceed that amount, then everything after that is free for that 12-month period. Then we have free education. So from preschool to grade 12 is free. There is no added cost for materials or stuff like that. It should be free for everyone. Even if we do have private schools, those have the same regulations as the public schools. So it's all free. And then we have free college. College costs nothing. I mean, in grade preschool to grade 12, you get books and materials. In college, you have to pay for your books. But you get a grant from the government monthly, which should cover costs for books. You have to buy them yourselves, but you get the money for it. And then you can, of course, take student loans for living costs. So that is not included. But those loans are very generous with a low interest rate, and it's automatically handled when you get a job that they take some of that money. And not a lot, actually. I think it's 25 years. You have to pay it off. And there is a cap on, since it's free college, you can study for as many years as you want, but you only get the loans and the grants for 6 years. And then you have to pay for it, for living costs and such, yourself. But most people will be able to get their degree within those 6 years. And then we have parental leave, which is also very generous. And it comes in two parts. Like for one, you have the amount of days that you're allowed to take leave without losing your job. You're always entitled to go back to your job. And in total, you can take 480 days off work, and that's to be split between the parents. Some of those days are earmarked for the mother, and some are earmarked for the other parent. Well, could be either way. Both parents have earmarked days that they can't transfer to the other one. And then there is a bunch of days that they can divide whichever way they want, but the closer you get to dividing them 50-50, there's a bonus to be had. And then we have subsidized childcare. So we have many preschools, or I don't know, kindergarten or daycare. I'm not sure what the appropriate word is, but from the child is 1 year old, they can get childcare. And it depends on your income, but there's a cap of, I think, about $100 a month. So it won't cost more than that. And the same thing goes for elder care, or care in the home for the elderly or disabled, which is, I think, $150 a month. Also depending on what you make, but the cap is $150 a month. And then we have paid sick leave. Well, the first day you're sick, you don't get anything. That's just deducted off your pay. But then from day 2 to 14, you get 80% of what you earn, and the employer pays for that. Some require that you get a doctor's note after like 1 week, which is fair. But then after day 14, you need to get a doctor to prescribe sick leave for you. And once you have that, then the government will pay your sick leave. And that's also 80% of your wages or salary. Up to, there's a cap in days. It gets much more difficult, or you don't get money after a year, I think. It might be a bit less even after 6 months. I don't really know all the rules. There's a lot of rules, but the main point is that you get paid fairly decent, even if you do get seriously ill. And yeah, I think that sums up what I wanted to say. And we do pay a lot in tax, but and that's a philosophical preference, I suppose, whether or not you want it to be a communal, that you pay to help everyone, or if you pay to help yourself. For me personally, I like this system. There can always be discussions if there are things that could be done more efficiently. I mean, there's a lot of government agencies, and sure, there's room for improvement. But at a whole, I think it's a good system. And, well, that's my point of view anyways. Thank you.
Well, I really hope you all enjoyed that. It's a pretty interesting take on Sweden taxes and the healthcare system. If you liked it, please make sure to like the video. And if you like what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Don't party too hard. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.